Hello and welcome. Silas Scratcher Resi here, and we're playing DCS. We're going to do a little bit of A10 work. So let's get into our Warthog. What I want to do is a little bit of an experiment here. So I want to prove whether the A10 is actually worthy of tank killer when there are other aircraft around that are also quite capable anti-armor aircraft. So for that reason, I'm going to go with a certain loadout, and all will become apparent. Personally, I prefer dumb weapons, dumb bombs, unguided munitions, because they're really good for close air support. You can just drop them. You don't have to overfly the target. You just drop and run. So I'm just letting my game catch up a second. I've done a few graphics change settings, so this might run a little slow. See how we go with it. Okay then, so I'm going to change my loadout a second, and you'll see. So I've got a setup with mostly unguided weapons. I think I've got some laser guided rockets, which for anti-armor, anti-tank, specifically anti-tank, are absolutely useless. I tested these the other day. I launched 42 locked onto a T72, and nothing. The convoy didn't even stop and park up for a minute. So right, okay. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to change this to not the one that I wanted. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which side's heavier? That side's going to be heavier. I'm not sure what this actually does to the weight and balance. Different missiles. Here we go. So I'm going to go with a single, because I haven't used it much at all. Maverick H. Is that right? Yeah, Maverick H there. I'm going to give myself a little bit more in the way of flares as well. Like popping flares. Who doesn't? Okay. So, whilst the ground crew are doing their thing, I've got... Actually, I'm going to start warming this up, then I can explain that, because this takes a minute. So, for those of you who love checklists, this is a fantastic aircraft, because it is so freaking complex. Right, so here we go. So we're going to get power on first. So let's power everything up. So we get battery on, inverter on. Go across behind here. APU start. Complete. Thank you. So APU has lit off there, and it is spooling up. As it's doing that a second, I'm just going to make sure I tweak that. I'm going to switch my screens up to day setting. We're at 100%. Temperature is stabilizing. Okay, APU is up. So let's get the APU generator on. So now we have power on the aircraft. ECI, EICU, and CDU, so that's basically our nav systems, are coming up now. And those, once they do their power on their bite test, they will start aligning. I'm going to turn the pitot heat on. I'm going to set the TACAN to transmit receive, but turn the display off. Next, I'm going to go over to the radio panel. I'm going to turn the radio up. I'm going to set to transmit receive. I'm going to dial in MINAD. Which is 1855. There we go. And I'm going to ask them for clear to start. ATC, ALMINAD. Request startup. bring the seat down a little bit. Got a wagon trundling around there very slowly. Set to fuel there. So as we can see, oh, let's get these screens on. So that's my screens. JTers, not sure what that is. I think that's something else. I'll have CC on there. And I've got a target designator pod, so I'm going to switch that on. And my anti-skid. So this is all warming up. Along here, let's get my DAS fired up. So that's warming up as well. Okay, so at 1.1. So we want this number here, actually. Let's see if it'll come up on the screen one yet. I want this number here, T equals, to get to 4. And then we'll be able to finish aligning everything. Let's get that fairly good as well. There we go. So CDU, there it is. I'm also going to load the data for my weapon systems. I'm not going to worry about any other switches down there just yet. I'll get the nav bits done all in one go. Right, so I'm going to start engine number 2. So there it is. So, yep. So we clear start 2. Button in, see APU temp has rised, whatever it is. So we've got positive rotation, oil pressure, light off. So it's coming up there. And we can see it's spinning. Okay. How's our nav? Our nav is taking a little bit of time. That's fine. Okay. So engine revs in the green. And temperature is stabilizing. And we want the start cycle light to go out. Start cycle light is out. Okay. Same on number 1 then. Clear start number 1. Starter engaged. Rotation. Yep, it's turning. Oil pressure, light off. Right, so that's doing that thing. So, what we have here is loadout. We've got 5 dumb bombs, 5 Mk82 500-pounders. We have 1 laser Maverick. Tried to use the IR one earlier and failed miserably, so as we've got a target designator pod, let's use a laser Maverick. A couple of sidewinders, won't be needing them. Just for the look, I don't light it. Got a triple stack of high explosive rockets and a single stack of laser guided anti-armor rockets, and that's an ECM pod. And then we've got the mighty GAU-8 in the nose. Right, okay, so we're looking at this. So we are fully lit off. Okay, so let's kill our APU. We don't need that anymore. Okay, APU is spooling down. Right, so we're going to get the SAS, which is part of the autopilot, engaged. So get that set up so those lights are off. They have the EGI. Oh, hang on, I can't do the EGI into I. There we go. So we got nav align. Oh, it's gone there. Nav align is flashing. INS nav ready is flashing. That means we go to nav. Now we can have EGI on, and most importantly, whatever this switch is, it's a magic switch. It doesn't always stay on, but once it's on, it means you've got a really stable aircraft for when you're blatting people with the GAU-8 Avenger. So let's arm the seat. Right, so all of our annunciator lights are out. Let's get trundling, and then we'll talk about what we're doing.
Request taxi to runway.
There was a truck mucking around somewhere. There he is. Just want to make sure that I don't drive into him. It's a bit stuttery. This might be because that's it. Nose wheel steering on. Bring the power up. Okay, brakes work. Steering works. Good. Right, I'm not going to worry about those taxiways because they are definitely for smaller aircraft. Those markings there. Than for this aircraft. Right then. So what we're going to do today, have a sip of tea. Very good. And then we are going to attack. There is an island. It's used for training. There is a column of armour on there, active tanks and BMPs, and we are to take them out. And there are a few targets of opportunity there as well. There's a training squad there. There's a moored up boat. There's some lightly armoured vehicles and a it's a cargo ship, actually, not just a boat. And there's a couple of helicopters sat around there. They may very well just blow themselves up. I've had that before in this. I haven't really set this mission up very well. With that, it was just a quick attempt there. Right. Right, so let's get flaps down. There we go. So we're on takeoff flaps. Oh, this is a bit juddery, this. I shouldn't have changed my anti-aliasing settings. This might get a little bit hairy on takeoff. And then once we're in the air, I'll set the weapons up and we'll go to the target and do the blatting that we need to do. Yeah. Right, let's close the canopy. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm fully set. I got flaps down like that. I'm going to leave the... Actually, it's juddering so much, I'm going to turn the nose wheel steering off now. Another sip of tea. There we go. Wheel brakes on. I'm going to go up to 50% power. The engine stabilise for a second. There we go. And brakes off. Full power. Rolling. Okay. Alright, so our rotate, our VR is going to be about 135 to 140, probably 135. Not too bad. 100 knots. 120, 130, 135, nose up, there we go, nice, gear up, glad it only stuttered once we were up in the air. There we go, gear is retracted, let's bring the flaps up as well, flaps are up, and that's Minad, right. Almost kept a decent centre line on the way out. So we're going to fly to this target island, which is roughly 325 on the bearing. Bearing 325, or thereabouts, there or thereabouts. go. Bring the power back just a little bit. Take the power back. Right, so now we're climbing, that's good. So we've got TGP is prepped. So, right, so we're going to set up the weapons, weren't we? That's what we're going to do. So let's have a quick look at setting the weapons up. So DMS, so I loaded on DMS before takeoff, you may remember. So we've got weapons display there. That is a display I'm not going to use. I've learned that not to use this. So I go to profile. And then you can set your weapons up here. So this is the laser guided weapons. So we're going to view the profile, and we are going to send the whole lot. I believe we have 7 fitted. So I'm going to select 7 in a ripple. Save. Then Mark 5s. Those are the other rockets. So view profile, and we're going to launch them in pairs, and we're going to send loads in a ripple in pairs, so we're sending them from each side, 7. So that should really hurt whoever it lands on. Right, Mark 82s. These are the bombs. So view profile. We've got 5 of them. I want to ripple single, nose tail, decent spacing, 75 feet, that's not too bad, that's pretty good. I might actually bring that down to 50 feet just to get a better concentration. And oops, going to ripple 5 off in one go. Okay, and save. And Maverick, I don't think we have any settings there for that. No, we don't. Good. Now, first weapon we're going to use though is the Maverick, so I'm going to set that as active profile. Right, and then as we are climbing now, let's go to this. So we've got our laser pod. God, it is stuttery. It's almost unplayable now. But is it worth it for this graphics setting? Change that when I come back. Okay, so laser pod. Problem with the Warthog is, well, the thing that makes Warthog rubbish is the same thing that makes it awesome, is the controls for things like the sensors are so complicated. You can do anything with them, but you've got to know, you've got to have a little bit of a guide. So I've made myself a little notepad, that's a little notepad document, just so I've got a quick guide there, so I can refer to it very quickly. So if you see the screen go off like down here, because I'm looking at the keyboard trying to find which one, and I'm looking here to look at my pad. So I'll try to keep that to a minimum, look with my eyes more than my head. So I need to select the sensor of interest. That's my right control, hold long, there we go. So I've got our green box in the TGP here, so that's sensor of interest. So I can now slew the image around. Now if I look into the distance, I may or may not be able to see, there's an island there, but that's not the island that I want. Ah, there it is. It is actually, I can just vaguely see it up in the distance there. You might not be able to see it on from YouTube because of the downscaling. Right. And then, so it's pointing at, TGP is pointing roughly at it, so you can't see because it hasn't generated that image yet. But I want to zoom in, so that's my right out and up. Okay, so that's zoomed in all the way. I haven't changed the field of view. because there's just no need. No need. It won't make any difference really at this point, certainly. Right. Tempted to use my autopilot, but she's holding quite stable at the moment. Look at her. Beautiful thing. Oh, let's... There we go. So I've got my dispenser set. Right, let's bring the nose down a little bit. Don't want to get too high because I've ended up in the cloud. I can't see what I'm aiming at. Okay, right, so I want to also change this to point track because they're vehicles and they may very well be moving. So I'm going to change to point track, so that's left out and up. There we go, point. And I think we're currently on, let's change this so that it shows thermal imaging as well, so that we are on white hot, which is left shift and, or black hot, white hot. There we go. All right. Now, I've never actually fired these laser Mavericks before, so I'm just guessing that this is how you use them. So this will be interesting to see if it does. Now, how did I? I didn't add the shortcut, did I? Not gonna worry. Okay, so that's complete view of the island there. So we have a town there. That's the runway. You can see there. Oh, it's helicopters are flying. Well, I wonder what got them to fly. Because I just told them to exist, and that was it. There's a little harbour there. That white thing there, that little bit there. I don't know if you can see that. That's the ship, and there is a row of vehicles there. Now, I wouldn't necessarily know, apart from I placed them there, so I know where they are. Now, what we're looking for is... Hello. It's them. That's them there. The bad boys. So you might be able to see on the screen there, so we've got some dots travelling along. Now this won't start tracking them until we get a little bit closer. Right, so we can see them there, so I'm going to arm the laser, turn master arm on, so we can launch some weapons. Lovely cup of tea. Right, don't need the mirrors, let's just get rid of them for a second. So it's a very slow aircraft, this. Problem I have with the Warthog is it's so slow. I like fast running in strikes, in and out. You don't get shot by AAA. This thing you can do. You can get shot at by AAA because they can easily see where you're going and what you're doing because you're so slow. Right, there they are. Just up there. So what kind of distance are we at? We're currently at 30 kilometers, 30 miles, I think that's kilometers. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to change my laser setting so it's not, so it's press and hold rather than latched on. That way I can turn it on and off. So, and if I forget to turn it off, then it doesn't fry the laser. So I'm going to test that by pressing the laser fire button. There we go, laser. There we go, done. There we go, they're going behind there, wherever there is. Bring power back just a little bit more. Okay. The Maverick doesn't. Seek ahead, I don't think does anything there. With the laser one. It's going to take a minute or two to get there, so maybe I'll speed this up. So you can actually see there, it looks like a tank, that one. And then you can see the turret on it. Again, I don't know if you can see that on YouTube, but I can certainly see it on my screen. I've recently changed my setup, so although I'm powered by a laptop, the game's powered by a laptop. Christ, going into some cloud here. I've now attached some big monitors and a desk, so it's a bit more like desktop gaming. I wonder if I fire the laser. I don't think it's going to do it. So I haven't set the laser codes up. Actually, that's a good shout. Let's just check that they are. Not sure. Not sure if this is going to work. Let's give it a go, eh? Okay, so that's not the guy we want that guy there. Brilliant. Right, okay, so here we go. I'm going to bring the power back a little bit more. I'm going to fire the laser and nothing happens. Firing the laser, nothing happens. Okay, fine. Let's go with the these bad boys there then, eh? Which I know this isn't going to do anything because I've tested these guys before, these laser-guided rockets. We're on about 11 kilometers. Mind you, I wonder if nothing happening. Oh, it's almost like it's white, so it's almost like it's not set up, isn't it? So once we're within 7, didn't we say? You know what? I'm going to upset them. I'm not going to go for the tank. I'm going to go for the lead vehicle. There we go. 7 kilometers. There's you there, firing the laser, and set him off. Okay. So still firing and holding the laser. I'm going to bring the nose up because I don't need to be descending anymore. Bring the power back up just to keep the speed up. Let's just get a bit of altitude as well. Let's see what these guys do. If anything. Oh, there we go. That's got him. Right, good. So, you know what? Okay, I've got that guy tracked. Right, this is risky because I haven't done anything with bomb. You know what? I'm just going to release all my bombs on that guy. Whereas I didn't set the helmet-mounted sight up, so there we go, helmet-mounted sight. And this is the other thing that makes this aircraft quite good, is that I can look around and see what's what. That's why I don't use that page, because it undoes all of the settings. Profile main, view profile. Okay, so that's good. Make active profile. So I'm going to drop a shed load of bombs on this one guy, so that he's not going to be very happy. Where is he? There he is, that little dot there. Let's come on round. Let's change mode to CCIP. There he is there. Okay, so we're going to power down. So this is going to be a nice little dive. There we go, I've got the marker turned up there. So it's definitely that dot, because that's in there. Picking up a lot of speed now. This is going to be fun. Let's watch this guy get some pain. Just going to pop some flares. Booms. Right, let's just go to map view here. Just to so there we go. Look at that. Oh, didn't stand much of a chance there, did he? Right. So let's see if I can just get the Maverick. Oh, I wonder if that was what it was it needs doing. It just needs to align. Right, so whilst that's aligning, let's see if we can drop a few bombs on them as well. So zoom in our field of view. Can't really see where the others are, so I need to wait for the pod. Oh, there we go. Zoom out a bit. Right, so that looks very much like a tank. So let's give this a go with the guns, shall we? So let's arm our guns. It's got a separate arming switch. Gun ready. Now I don't think DCS models side and rear armour. So, but top armour it does model. Right, so let's go in. Where is he? He's there. So pop some flares. Right there. Let's try and hold him steady. Oh, beautiful. Just very steady. No, I want to get down there. I want to get the... There we go. Just to the left. That's it. And this guy is dead.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up.
Get the speed brakes closed. some flares. Oh, taken a little bit of damage there, but hasn't killed him properly. That's a shame because it's a lot of effort to get that gun to work. And that's a lot. Oh, there we go. Now he's got it. Right. Let's DCIP. Go. Right, let's see if we can get this Maverick to work then. So that also didn't seem to do it. So let's not worry about that. Let's just go around again with guns. And put a bit more power in, get a bit more height. And come down on a bit steeper. Pop some flares. There he is. There we go. Should have him. Oh, look at that fire there. Boom, 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 boom. So weapons-wise, what have I got left? I've got the high explosive anti-tanks. So what I'm getting at with this is it's a lot of effort just to take a tank out. I mean, the gun is good, but it's good against armor, but not good against tanks. You've got to get a very steep dive on them, and you've got to get a long burst. There we go, there's the tank trying to run away. There he is, right. Oh, this is going to be a bit touch and go, really.
Pull up. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up.
Oh dear, that was a little bit too low. Did I get him? I think I did. But you saw how steep a dive that was. I used a lot of ammo. So let's get the last guy, which is he's there, roughly. Oh, that's it's him. So, can be satisfying when you get things right, but it takes a lot to get these things right on this this aircraft. Sometimes it is quite hard work. Okay, air brakes back out. A lot of button pushing to do. And those down. Oh dear. Something's happened there with the... Let's get this stabilised. Stabilised somewhere back there. And
Pull up, pull up.
pop some flares out. Hey, look at that. You just popped. So there's one guy left. Is that him there? Up that road. About there, I think. Yep, there he is. Right, so this guy, got some rockets for him. Right, so let's go to CCIP mode. And take this bad boy out. Bring power back a little bit. So again, being able to use the sensors means that you can use the head-mounted display, and it makes things much easier for finding your target. A lot of aircraft don't have that capacity. And
Pull up, pull up.
there we go. Popping flares and out. That's it. Got 6 burning wrecks there. So let's take out this ship that's somewhere in the docks. There he is. Let's take him out as well whilst I've got the rockets. There you go. Bye bye ship. Oh, look at that. And
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
great success. All that's left is to land this thing, and I didn't get shot once. So there we go. Right, so we're on our way out. So yeah, air brakes are in. Did I only have those? I did only have those rockets on one side, that's fine. So let's make things safe. So master arm safe, gun arm safe, don't need a TGP, don't need a laser anymore. There we go. I do need to still be able to fly and not stall. And not use much fuel either. It's very fuel efficient, this aircraft. And I'm going to turn that system off. So we won't be needing the flares anymore. What else? That's probably it for now. Stuck this thing on autopilot. just 'cause it's a little bit easier. It's a bit stuttery. I prefer not to fly with autopilot, but for the purpose of this exercise, done very well. I don't normally survive this far, having taken all those out, so that's good. So yeah, what I'm going to be doing next, I'm going to compare in the same mission with the stock SU-25T, and that has some features that are pretty cool. It's very effective, I find. It's easier to fly. This is quite tricky to get everything to work out right, especially as you see I wasn't able to launch the Mavericks. I always had trouble with Mavericks on this. I just need to read the instructions, but you know, you'd like it to be simple as possible, but it just isn't. A lot of it is about fine handling, especially when it comes to the gun, being able to maneuver that pipper onto the target is very difficult to do. I honestly recommend spending time in an aircraft where you do practice air-to-air refueling, and that gives you a good feel for control and what you should do and how you should manage oscillations. Just want to check in case I don't think I have been shot at all, hit or anything. The engine parameters look good. The fuel is stable, hydraulics is good. No issues with my nav. So just flying back to Minad over Dubai. See, I thought this was a McDonnell Douglas aircraft. So I thought they'd have tri-wings on the leading edges rather than Phillips. At least have Ricos. But ticket to send off to Eagle Dynamics, I suppose. I think that's Dubai International over there.
Altitude, altitude.
Gear down. First start flaps down. Full flap. Right, bring the air brakes out. Oh dear. Had every opportunity to not cock that up. Gear down.
Altitude, altitude.
Probably more like sync rate, it wants to yell at me rather than altitude. There we go. There we go. Nose wheel steering on. Almost held the centre line there. Right, that's a successful trip. Thank you very much everyone for watching, and I look forward to catching you next time. Silas Scratcher Resi, signing off.